I had to spill the tea.
The tea in the ton.
Tea of the ton. In the ton.
The tea of the ton?
Tea of the ton.
The tea of the ton. Hi, babe.
Hi, babe.
Have you seen the new Bridgerton
Of
season
course,
4?
I have a lot to spill there.
I know, right?
Do you remember this dialogue she says in the episode? I am the tea that you will be having.
Oh my god, that was one of the best
So cute.
dialogues.
I have been saying like society and ton.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of those nuances from back in the day, they so very much apply even today.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cute how society still revolves around our decisions and the impact of our choices. It's like nothing has changed. It's been 200 years and we are still stuck in this rut about what other people think about us.
Yeah. And the gossip.
And the gossip, which is very important. So what did you think about
What did I think?
the season?
You want to go first because you've read the book, right? So you've read the book that's based on just this season or the entire Bridgerton series?
Only this one.
Okay.
The book, I think, goes in the sequence of the ages of the kids and when they get married.
Correct.
I think. So we did, the first one was Anthony, the second one was Colin and Penelope in the series. But the book is very just centered around Benedict and Sophie.
Yeah.
And there's none of these parallel characters threading their magic around that storyline. So I feel the Netflix series is so colorful. It's so colorful. It's like everyone's bopping their little heads and with their storylines, and there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
But the book itself is just like a typical like love
romance novel
between Benedict and Sophie. I've seen some reels where they are saying that Benedict is a monster in the book, but I did not feel that way at all.
Oh.
Because he's very overbearing. He's very overbearing in the book because he's just fallen head over heels for Sophie. And
what do you mean by overbearing?
He's overbearing because he wants her to be his mistress, and he's kind of constantly luring the choices to force her to kind of take employment in the Bridgerton house and so on and so forth. But it's really not that bad. It's just a very natural course of events. And because it's so centered around their feelings and their subconscious, you can hear all their thoughts.
Right. And that's what I love about books, right? It really delves deep into the conversations they're having with themselves.
Exactly. And you feel the chemistry in the book.
Yes, yeah.
There was no chemistry in the series or the season. I'm sure I'm going
You
to get a lot of...
You thought so?
I don't understand how he falls in love with her at all.
You felt that there wasn't enough meeting and conversations. Yeah, that's what I felt too.
Benedict is a deep person. He's had multiple
relationships. Yes, with different genders.
Exactly. And he's bisexual or... don't know if there's another word for being more than bisexual.
He doesn't discriminate.
And he's an artist. He's just got a whimsical mind and absolutely no purpose in life, which is why he's just an octopus, all over the place. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love everyone. But he's the sweetest of the siblings. He's just got this kind heart. And in the book, the way he falls in love with Sophie is very sweet and magical. And for the first time, he's meeting someone who has a soul, is how they kind of explain it. But in the series, I did not feel any chemistry. I didn't feel it at all, actually. The only reason I was vested in it is because of the book, because I knew them.
Right.
And I think just...
maybe the book helped. I felt books help and they don't help at the same time. Because they help because now you know the backstory, you know their thoughts that are not, they're not saying the dialogues, but you know what they're thinking.
I can hear it in my head.
But at the same time, you don't feel the same intensity that you felt in the book, in the series, I did not. In the show.
And they do it 3 times in the book.
B was counting.
They only do it twice in the series.
Twice? Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
That was very disappointing. But it's fine. I mean, I think the twice was really hard to pull off.
But it was very visually beautiful. So I guess I was happy. I was happy with the number of times.
Which one is your favorite season?
My favorite season is season 1 is my favorite season, and I think season 4 is my second favorite season. I really enjoyed it because I don't know, I didn't read the book, but I was quite disappointed with season 2 and season 3,
Okay.
Anthony and Kate's relationship. I mean, I love that they brought in a woman of Indian origin, which was beautiful, and I was really excited about it. But I felt like I don't know, I didn't enjoy the story was very nice as well, but I felt that there could have been more, you know, more passion, more intensity in terms of the sexual tension, which I didn't feel. They were intellectually like matching each other, but I felt like the physicality was a little bit missing because my standard was Colin and Daphne, and that was like that
Simon
blew
and
my
Daphne.
mind. Sorry. Oh my god, did I
trying to do here?
Oh shoot, sorry.
It's
Simon
okay.
and Daphne.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite because it was the introduction to,
Yeah.
you know, this.
And honestly, it was a much tighter happening storyline. And to your point, it was the introduction to how this all works.
Yes.
The Bridgerton society, what the norms
Yes.
are, the queen's little shenanigans.
Yeah.
It was definitely, and Daphne was so
Gorgeous.
raw and just so beautiful.
So innocent, so naive.
So innocent.
And Simon is this beautiful, you
a
know,
beautiful
guy. So that was my favorite. And I think fourth season has been my second favorite, almost the same as the first, because I really felt, because I think what benefited Benedict was that we knew so much about him, right? Over those 3 seasons. We learned so much about him. We didn't learn as much about Daphne or Simon or the other siblings as much as we knew about Benedict. And I felt they did such a good job on building up his character, right? So when finally you see that, okay, he's met someone and she's so adorable. I thought Sophie was just gorgeous.
She is
And
very cute.
and I've seen some of her previous work as well. So I was really excited to see her part of this franchise. And I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I get what you're saying. Comparing it to the book is definitely, it may have been a little underwhelming.
The chemistry was underwhelming, but I do think that the whole package is much better in the Netflix series because you don't read about the parallel storylines with Violet and
Yes.
Lady Danbury.
Oh, really? They don't
have
explore any of
this.
that?
Violet obviously pokes around a little bit because she's the mother and
Correct.
she definitely plays the same heroic role she does
Okay,
in the series. Like
okay.
she comes to save Sophie. She's always checking on Sophie and things like that. So
Yeah.
a lot of that plot is exactly the same.
Okay.
But then I think Violet and Benedict and Sophie, and
Okay.
that's it.
That's it. Okay.
That's really it. I mean,
That's
how
so
much can you
interesting.
cover
So
with
no
words, right?
Francesca
No
and
Francesca, no Eloise.
her, John.
Eloise is mentioned here and there.
Oh,
That's
wow.
really it. No Penelope.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
actually, Lady Whistledown still exists because the cover has not
Has
been
not
blown
been
yet.
blown. Okay.
So that takes a little bit of getting used to. Between all the seasons, I like 1
Okay.
and I like 4. Actually, sorry, I like 3. I love 3.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying you loved
I
3.
love
Yeah.
3. I love the Penelope Whistledown cover
Okay.
being blown. I really like Colin and Penelope very, very much.
Okay.
I know a lot of people like found that a little cringe.
Yeah.
I
didn't find it cringe.
I loved how it all I love the tension between Penelope and Eloise.
Correct.
Friendship.
Yes,
And
that
I
was
so
very
like,
cute.
Oh my god, I hope they get back together. And I
Yeah.
hope they understand each other again. And this is my third.
Okay.
Even though I read the book and everything, I just feel like this is the third best
Yeah.
so far. I don't coming to the diversity point. What is your take on it?
I think that it's great that they are bringing in so many different ethnicities, and even there were some characters with disabilities in this season. Sometimes you feel like, okay, they've included it for the sake of including it, but I still don't mind it because it's great just to have so much diversity, right? And inclusion.
It does feel forced because we are not
Sometimes.
in a society that is used to it.
Yes.
It should be the norm, and it should be a question that we're not asking anymore about diversity per se. But
Yeah.
we're not there yet as the culture is not there yet. So when you see the commingling and the almost normality of love between an Asian and a white European or something like that, you in your mind, wait, I've never seen this happen in real life, but it's in the story.
Yeah.
And it takes a little warming up.
I think I've seen it in real life, but I wouldn't place it in that age, right? The whatever Victorian age. So that is very, it's quirky.
It feels off.
But I still like it.
From period drama.
Yeah, a period drama, yeah.
It's very
I
beautiful.
think it's beautiful.
I think it creates so much charm.
Yeah.
It's so charming.
Yeah.
It took me a little getting used to with Sophie being, Asian.
Oh, really?
Because in the book, she's just a blonde.
Correct.
She's dark. She's dark brown blonde sort of thing. And he's white. So it's like the Bridgertons are all exactly how they should be, but all the other characters are looped in from
Okay.
very nice, diverse background.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's very refreshing.
Did you like the Queen and Lady Danbury?
Oh my God. Yeah, we need to talk about that because it's it's one of my favorite storylines actually.
I mean,
their
I think
friendship.
we have the background from Queen Charlotte, which is the other.
Oh yeah, I want to add that to my favorite list as well. Have you seen it?
Very intense.
You've seen it, right?
I've seen it.
It was very intense.
It was very intense.
Yeah.
And it was too real, almost, but so beautiful.
Yeah.
Such deep stories with both of them. Yeah. So would you want to be a lady in waiting for
a lady
Queen
in waiting?
Charlotte?
I don't know. I don't think so. It comes with a lot of pressure.
You have to do the hair thing every morning. So that's where I would draw the line. Like,
Really?
don't touch my hair every day morning. What is up
But
with
you would
that?
anyways have to do it if you're living in that period. You would have to do your hair like every day, and you would have to change clothes. You'd have a morning outfit and then you would have an evening outfit. So it would be part of just the life over there. But for me, the job per se would not. I mean, I don't know if it would fulfill me. Yeah, it would be very stressful.
You get to change the course of history. Would that not entice you?
I think you would definitely enjoy it then.
I think I would be able to steer the course of justice as I pleased. That would be interesting. That's exactly what Lady Mondridge
Yes.
does at the end. She wants to save the maid.
Correct. Yeah.
That's the class she belonged to.
Correct.
At one point in time. She's so pretty. I love how she just evolves.
Yeah. She's lovely
adorable.
too. She's lovely and she has a mind of her own.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Lady Danbury was, very keen that she replaces her because she would be a great,
And she's got the perspective, just like Lady Danbury does, the class perspective.
Yes.
Which is very interesting.
I think I cried most.
What? You cried?
I cried a lot.
What?
Because I've seen
Wait,
the friendship evolve.
You're talking about Queen Charlotte, or you're talking about in Benedict and Sophie?
No. They are not really friends. They fall in love at first sight.
No. Are you talking about Lady Danbury and Charlotte in this season or in Queen Charlotte?
In this season.
There's nothing to cry about.
She says she wants to not break up. She wants to step away from being lady in waiting.
She wants to go to her ancestral home.
Correct, but she's been with the queen. They've been best friends for like years, and Lady Danbury has been her closest confidant and has basically guided her emotionally and other ways through her reign.
Comical.
Really?
I found that to be very entertaining and comical, and I found that pleasant at the best. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's it. It was beautiful, funny, and how she says nope.
I need a break. She's like, nope, I forbid it. I would love if we could say that to our friends when they want to.
You telling me that multiple times. So I don't.
Nope,
think
the night is not over.
Different.
We are still partying till the sun comes up. Yeah, I don't know. I cried. I was really emotional about it. I thought it was very sad because it kind of also brings an end to their friendship.
We don't know that.
We don't know that, but it
Queen
feels
Charlotte
heavy.
Is going to allow it anyway. She's got her way around it.
No. I think Lady
I
Danbury
don't
is
think so.
very adamant.
Lady Danbury is going to go to her ancestral home and realize that her place is with the
She
queen.
misses the ton and all the
Exactly,
gossip.
and the gossip. Flaws of the season.
Flaws of the
What did
season. Oh my
you-
God.
Yeah, what did you watch in this season
Benedict
and feel
needs
like...
to get an eye exam. Please.
What?
That was
Don't say that.
one thing. I was like, you have searched far and wide for those lips and that voice, and you literally
You don't need-
finally found her, and it hadn't been that long either.
I'm
Like
getting
the
ready with an
guy,
argument in the back of my head. Go on.
the guy seriously needed to, like, I don't know. It was ridiculous that he didn't recognize Sophie.
someone with just lips. Okay, he recognized her soul, which is why he fell in love with Sophie again.
In the end, he recognized her soul.
No, he's always recognized her soul.
How did he recognize her soul in the first
when she was a
meeting?
maid, while she was a maid, and he picked her up from the Cavender's house, he started feeling that same chemistry. So he was attracted to her soul.
Yeah.
But he couldn't fathom that the love that he felt, or the love of his life, who was part of the elite crowd in the masquerade ball, could in fact be a maid. In his mind,
Right.
the class divided them into two people, which is how society was back then.
Right.
So it's very interesting. So in the book, right, he goes through this dilemma. I'm actually in love with her, but
Okay.
I don't have her. But I
Okay.
really love her as well, and I have her.
Yeah.
And he constantly went back and forth with the guilt of, am I betraying her? What if I find her one day and I can actually marry her? So this is a more real future versus this is not. And then lo and behold, they're the same person. So the book
Mind-blowing
also,
moment.
in the couple of chapters in the end, right, when he discovers her very differently in the book.
Oh.
In the book, actually, the chapter is so cute.
Oh, really?
She is actually entertaining little kids
Oh.
who came to visit the Bridgertons.
Okay.
And they blindfold her because they're playing blindfold.
Oh.
And then Benedict walks into the room and he sees her with the satin blindfold and like looking for all the kids. And that's when he sees her lips and he sees her hair, and like he realizes that, oh my God, this is you. And he makes everyone leave the room, and he's just in shock. And he closes the door and he's like, when were you going to tell me?
Oh,
and she can't get the
wow.
blindfold off.
Oh, wow.
So she's just like really confused and she's looking at, imagine
my
this
God,
scene playing out in
that's
your
so
head.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's how he uncovers it. But in the series, I would say this is a flaw in my opinion, because I
Okay.
think this would have played out so much better because it's intense. That would have made for a better episode in the season, because it could also get really heated. And
I
it was
love the
so
way he
colorful.
discovered it.
I don't like it.
That
He found a
scene
necklace.
where he finds his necklace, finds the necklace, and then his hands are like shaking.
He's such a good performer, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
But you could have had the same thing if he saw her blindfolded. Like, I think he's a good actor regardless
It
of
was
which
the
scene.
hand shaking of a picture that he had drawn, because it connects to him being an artist. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
So
I don't
he
think it
does
really,
that.
you know.
That remorse, that disappointment of rejection, that emotion that he, not in this particular one, but in general, whenever she says we can't be together.
Oh, you mean the way he emotes?
The way he emotes.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
It's so amazing. Yeah.
Whenever she questions him, like, when have you ever thought of me?
Yeah.
And he just shudders inside.
Yeah, his
He's like,
eyes
oh my
like
God,
are
you're
hurt.
right.
He's hurting, you know,
Yeah.
and his body, and he's just he's so good at like emoting his feelings. And I felt she kind of was lacking a little bit. But then again, she has a story of like holding everything together and being very stoic.
Yeah.
So that kind of justified her
You're
reaction,
right.
because I was expecting her to
Yeah.
break down a lot and just like cry. And I
Right.
didn't see too
That's
much
an
of that.
excellent point, yeah.
But I guess because of being hardened from all those years of being treated so badly, she's not able to emote those
She
feelings,
doesn't
but
even
he
have those expectations.
made up for it, you know, his like
Fair,
his
fair.
feeling hurt, his yearning for her,
Yeah.
he looking at her
I
like
love
through
the yawning.
across the room. Oh my god, and she looking at him through the door. I was like, oh my god, this is adorable.
And across the hall.
That was just
I did think
amazing.
that was very beautiful. Benedict Bridgerton, you have my heart.
Yeah, I think he is my favorite Bridgerton.
He actually looks a lot younger in a lot of the promos of the season than he does in the actual season.
You think they've aged him?
I think they've aged him for some reason. I do think he looks older than Anthony even in the season.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
I thought he was the
Always
older.
did.
Seemed like the
He's
older
taller,
brother.
He's just bigger built.
Correct.
He's got these little frown lines.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have frown lines in real. It seems they had to wake up at 4 a.m. every day for the last 8 months that they were filming this. I
Okay.
think that just like took a toll
on him. Oh, poor thing.
Then he recouped, used face masks.
Yeah, even Sophie, like she kind of looked, she looked older when she was wearing the maid
Yes.
jacket and stuff.
Yes.
And then suddenly she would look so young and
Dewy.
youthful and dewy in a beautiful dress. It was a bit like, that was a bit like, okay, you
Done on
know.
purpose.
Yeah, I don't
feel
know.
like she needed a little more makeup. I would say that's another flaw I very strongly felt.
You think so? But she
100%
has
think
gorgeous
so.
skin and she has great features. Why does she
you
need
can
makeup?
You can still spruce the main protagonist. up
Maybe
a
when she
little
was
bit.
down, her makeup could have been a bit better. But when she was dressed up, they really did such a good job of her blush. She looked flushed, like naturally
Okay,
flushed. So I love those that
feel
look
they-
for her.
They could have kept that. throughout
Yes, yes,
and done
yes.
a little bit more.
Yes.
You know, because she was so flat in the maid dress.
correct,
Like you didn't have to
correct.
make her look that flat. Because
Yes.
then I can't believe that Benedict would fall in love with her.
That's true.
She wasn't like
That's
standing
true.
out, you know. So that's like definitely a flaw. Another flaw I feel was there wasn't as much of Eloise. I wanted more Eloise.
I'm done with Eloise. I'm really done with Eloise.
You're losing your patience.
Why did you need more Eloise?
I always need more Eloise. She's the most practical, independent in thought. Funny. She's so funny. She ridicules everything. I love
I
that
know,
about her.
but I think it's been done to death.
No,
You know, I
don't
think
say
it's been
that.
done for 3 seasons.
She is.
I felt,
She comes after Benedict, so you have to wait.
yeah, but I mean, like, they gave her some purpose in between where she was like,
Looking for Lady Whistledown.
she was looking for Lady Whistledown, and then there was some tension between her and Penelope and all of that
the
stuff.
Cressida friendship or whatever
Yes,
you want to call it.
but I
Yeah.
felt this season they kind of were like, okay, she's still bitching and moaning about stuff, and she's now,
Okay, sounded
you know,
repetitive.
being dragged around and stuff. And I mean, I'm like, they could have given her some other purpose. You know, they could have written a better storyline for her. So I'm kind of like, okay, now let's get her married in the next
So,
season.
I think she's getting married in the next
Or let her
season.
just like go and be a professor and teach or something. Because
Did you watch past the credits like I asked you to?
I did.
Okay, good.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I don't
You
think I know.
think it's Eloise?
Don't you know that? Like that's why they say. That's what she asked. Who do you think is gonna get married next?
No, Kate asked who's
Kate
gonna
asked that,
get married
and then Eloise
next.
is like, oh, I love weddings. And I love how there are so many people at weddings. And then everyone just like looks at her. That's what it means.
You think so?
I
That would
know
be
so.
lovely.
Because that's the next book, right? Like who else is left?
Have you read the book? No.
No, but I
Okay.
will now.
Okay.
Now that I love the parallels between the two, I would read it.
Okay. Do you think she would actually find some? I mean, she could find some if she wanted to,
not
but do
read
you
the book.
think she would want to
I've
get
not read
married?
the book, but I think she will find someone because that's how life is, and you do find your person. Eloise is not against love
Marriage.
or marriage. She just doesn't like the monotony and the stereotypical dance surrounding it, and the expectations of what a woman's role should be,
Right.
and how she needs to even attract a man, and what men find, like all of those concepts.
Yes.
If she finds someone who accepts her for who she is intellectually there, why not? I think she
agree.
would find her, and she loves reading books, and I'm sure she's read all kinds of romance novels.
Yeah. But does she read romance? I think she reads like
I think she reads everything.
non-fiction mostly, I think, right?
कौन सा non-fiction था तो?
Maybe she's reading about the kings and the queens and the poets and the artists back in the day. But remember, there was a season where she was chasing Whistledown, and she met this commoner, right? He was a commoner.
He was the.
He was
owned
working.
the printing.
He owned or he
press.
worked for the guy?
Worked or owned. I don't know what it is. And then it became a scandal.
Oh, it did.
It did. Whistledown posted about it.
Oh.
That's how they kind of.
Oh, shoot.
That's why when she found out who Whistledown was, she felt her friend betrayed her. And she also posted about Miriam, whoever that other girl was that was chasing Colin.
Okay.
All of that came back to Eloise, and then she thought, "Oh my God, it was my friend who was betraying me and my family."
Correct. That's why they broke up, right? For a bit. So I think she is more attracted to that kind of a person that's
someone
like
who she can intellectually
grassroots, like rugged and hardworking, not just living off the.
Did you have another thought on who else it could? There's nobody else. There's only.
Well, Francesca.
Yes.
Francesca may not get married, but I'm sure they will explore her love story.
Right, and they could run in parallel.
But you didn't realize that Francesca was queer, right?
I did not.
You didn't?
No, I had no idea.
That is so interesting because it was quite obvious to me.
To be honest. I still don't believe it. I don't understand how all of these scenes translate to that. That
well, in the book, apparently.
The only reason I know I will believe it is because she didn't reach her pinnacle.
Yes, and she must.
But that's because he was probably just doing it wrong. It's not any other reason. Like, he wasn't spending enough time.
That's true. He was not putting the work in.
You were going to say. Exactly.
So in the book, apparently, the other person, what is her name? I find it tough to pronounce it. It's a beautiful name, but I'm forgetting it.
I know, I forgot.
But the other love interest that she has, the cousin, is a man. But in the show, they've made it a woman to represent, her being bisexual. So she wasn't bisexual in the book.
In the book. Okay.
Yeah, so the cousin was meant to be a man.
Neither was Benedict in the book. Benedict is straight, but here he's bi.
Correct. Yeah. So
they're just bringing everything. All kinds of human beings. Black, white,
just
green,
throw
blue,
everything to the wall and see what sticks.
Everyone should love everyone.
Yeah.
That's the society we should be living in.
Love.
Love conquers all.
Love conquers all.
As long as you are of the right class, you are accepted.
But that's going to change too now because, the way things are going. So, yeah, I feel that will be a lovely story to explore.
Tell me what the turning point was for you to recognize that Francesca is probably...
The first scene where John introduces her to...
She's just appalled.
The cousin. No, so if you paid attention...
I did. Excusez-moi.
To the conversation Francesca has with her mother, which is Violet.
Yeah.
And so Violet is concerned that Francesca is getting married too quickly to John. I think they meet, they get engaged or whatever, and they get married really quick.
Yeah.
So she's like, are you sure? And Francesca's like, yeah, I'm sure about this. How did you know that you were that you made the right choice? Father was the one. And she said,
when
the first time...
Your father...
Yeah.
They always start like that.
She said, when I met your father, I couldn't even speak. Like, I couldn't even say my name. Like, it was so difficult for the words to come out of my mouth. And that's when, I felt like, okay, I'm in love, right? So... back to when John introduces Francesca to his cousin, that's exactly what happens. She's like completely dumbfounded. She's like, she stutters and and that's when...
She always stutters.
No, she doesn't. She's quite a lovely lady with her head on her shoulders. But yeah, so that's the scene where she's just staring at this lady and she's unable to speak.
It was too subtle.
So I caught up on that. I was like,
You're smart. I'm not. But
I was very sad that John had to die. I was really upset about that too.
It's so convenient, right? In these plots, how they just like kill somebody off and then now you can chase who you want to chase.
Yeah.
But why does she leave though? Why does her cousin leave?
because I think she holds hands with her, and then she feels something, the cousin, and she doesn't want to maybe take it
Encourage
forward.
her or something? Wow, you
And
got all of this
yeah,
from
yeah,
watching this
I
season?
read between all the lines.
Why do you do that? That is
Because
so
I don't
bizarre.
know. I don't know. I can sense things. I don't know. It's my spidey sense.
It is your
But I think
spidey
she didn't
sense.
want to take it forward because she would also feel that she's betraying her cousin, right? That he was like a brother to her.
Oh.
So I think
Wow, you got all of that.
Yeah.
Just that one set. You're just such a genius.
I don't know. That's how
That's
I
your
felt.
assessment.
But I think eventually it's going to they're going to meet,
Those are
and
the
things are gonna
storylines, though.
things
So
are
do you
gonna
think
move
Violet
forward.
is going to marry Lord?
Lord Anderson,
Lord.
yeah. Lord
Lord
Anderson.
Want to talk about them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was
Yeah. Do you think
quite
maybe,
saucy.
Yeah.
I loved
Quite
it.
saucy. It was so secretive, and I like how shy Lady Violet was
Yeah.
about everything. Evening tea.
Yeah.
This is not that kind of tea.
No.
But I would be having evening tea if I had to have
Yeah.
some. It was so hard. So difficult
To
for her
organize it,
to
right?
organize it. Send 8 kids out of the house before you can do anything with your life.
And then get your maid in confidence and
Right.
get her
Can you
to
imagine
organize
all the maids would be
things.
talking about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens. I think maids know a lot more about what's
Right.
happening in the
They are the
household than
lady in
anyone
waiting
else.
of the house.
Correct. Yeah.
And
I'm glad
but
she's
she is confused because she needs acceptance from society, from all her 8
Correct.
kids, and she's like so conflicted in her head because typical mother, typical desi mom putting her kids. She also wants to be emotionally there for them first. Like, my emotions can wait. And
Yeah.
Lord Anderson just
let them all
Take a
settle
break.
down. Let them all have
let them
kids.
have no problems.
Then I will start
and
my
then
life.
I will start my life. Right.
By then you're like in your
I think
70s.
in the next season, it would be Lady Violet also having some sort of a.
You think
Maybe
they
she
would?
gets married. So she probably gets married. Eloise has like a courtship. If not marriage, she has at least a very thick courtship.
Mm-hmm.
And then Francesca discovers somebody new. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, could be. You're right.
Who do you think is the next Whistledown?
Oh
I
my
was very
god.
shocked actually to hear a voice at the end continuing, especially after
Mm.
Penelope decided to give up the pen.
Correct. Yeah.
And I'm like, who is this still talking?
Yeah.
Like Whistledown.
I don't know.
It was an interesting cliffhanger at the end.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Who do you
Very
think it
interesting.
is?
I'm excited to know who it is.
What are your suspects? Primary
I
suspects.
you mentioned Eloise. It could
Because
be
she is
her.
smart enough to be.
But then she doesn't like attending too many like balls and being part
But
of.
now that nobody suspects she's going to get married, she's still part of society. She's like, why not just put this to good use?
Let's discuss
I can
options.
only
There's
think of
Eloise. There is
What's her name? What's Sophie's sister's name? Posey.
Posey.
Could be Posey.
Could be Posey. Yeah, but Posey is now engaged and she's gonna get married.
Posey's
so she's
not
probably
engaged. Her sister's engaged. Rosamund
no,
is
that
engaged.
broke up.
Oh,
Posey
right.
is in
Posey
fact
is in
engaged
fact
now.
engaged. So that's right.
Yeah.
That's not in the book, so that's why I got.
Okay.
confused.
Oh, I loved Posey,
She's
by
so
the way.
cute.
She's
I
adorable.
love how she knocks her face against the window. That was so funny.
She's too cute,
my
too
favorite scene.
goofy. I loved her.
Okay, so no clues about Whistledown.
Yeah.
We are clueless.
We are
Just
as clueless.
as.
If you have any suggestions or ideas, let us know.
Please let us know. Comment.
You ever read those books as a teenager, Mills and Boone?
Of course. Because we didn't have much of the internet back then. So
Correct.
And we didn't have Wikipedia.
And we didn't have Netflix.
Encyclopedia is too technical.
Yes.
So this was our education.
I was at the school event. I remember we were volunteering at some school
Okay.
in our high school,
Okay.
and we had a lot of time in between. We were teaching these kids a few things in the
wow.
school, and me and my classmates. I think there were like 4 or 5 of us, and we were just sitting around eating lunch. And I had brought this book with me, and. And yeah, it's usually never thought of, right, to bring a book like this to school, let
What was the
alone like a
cover?
volunteering job.
What was the cover?
The cover wasn't very saucy. It was I think it was a beautiful man and a woman embracing each other. It wasn't anything like, they were fully clothed also.
Okay, too bad.
But what was inside the book was like gold,
Of course.
and as teenage girls, we would sit in a circle and I would read like lines from the book. Yes.
It's typically read in private.
Exactly, but I don't know, for some reason, I don't know what made me bring the book, or maybe the day before you were talking and
Maybe you wanted deeper explanation as to what was going on.
yeah, or maybe I just wanted to share my joy of like discovering such like
So,
amazing
yeah,
writing.
What was your
I don't
question?
know.
Exactly. Like, wait, he says he entered her. Like, what does that mean? Enter the gaya kya? Enter? Like, what
He
did
entered her, and then they would say like his member, stuff like that. Like it was so like
his
it's so
hardness.
English. Yeah. Yeah. So
Talk
it makes you
about.
feel like it's so fantastical, right? So it was such
And
a
it's obviously exploding in your head.
yeah.
Because your head is a very dangerous place to be.
Exactly.
And magical. Bridgerton's, the series is also very Melson Booney.
Exactly.
That's what-
It wasn't
yeah,
really about like, ooh, like, oh my
It's like
God, this is so like,
connecting and-
it was just laughing and like
Right.
giggling and having that cute moment of like sharing something naughty, as a group of girls.
yes.
And so when this show came out, I felt like it was
Bringing back
bringing back
memories.
all those
I did
core
feel
memories.
exactly that when I was reading this book. I'm like, it takes me back to those days.
Yeah.
Because you don't read such books anymore.
No.
Mostly it's non-fiction or something
Yes.
heavy. And even romance these days are very modern.
Very practical, very
practical,
modern.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I would make that connection because it was just so, it was such a
It was
sweet memory.
sweet, yeah.
And so I loved the whole idea of it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.